Local, late breaking. This is WTVA 9 News.
Good evening, I'm Craig Ford. Emily Leonard will join us shortly. Weather once again tops our broadcast. We've been dealing with watches and warnings all day long. Let's check in with the WTVA Severe Weather Authority. Here's WTVA Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubhahn with where things stand right at 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock, what we don't have is one of these, but what we have had has been significant damage from tornadoes like this one captured by Sarah earlier on. Strong tornadoes, more than what we typically see out of a tropical system like this. We talked about them being what we called hybrid because you had that dry air mixed in, and it has led to bad stuff. Harvey, the reason why tropical depression at this moment here continues to spin away, producing some flash flood warnings and rainfall totals in some cases north and west of Memphis in excess of 5 to 8 inches. It has been really bad. We watch these feeder bands, these bands moving in, and those are the ones as they circulate into Harvey, you get that additional spin, and in some cases that spin is really, really bad. Tornadoes, we've had more than a couple today, and in a few cases they've been long track. We'll touch on some of these damage reports, especially when you start talking about this one back here toward Reform and Sulligent and east of Kennedy there toward Fayette, Alabama. This one, significant damage, what we call a tornado debris signature for more than 45 minutes earlier today, and others we briefly had potentially a touchdown. The reports of damage so thankfully around the Tupelo area, but much more significant on the storm that moved north of Fulton. So at this hour, how do we stand? We still have bands. We still have this system trying to suck in its warm and humid air, and we still have a few points along these bands where perhaps there's enough rotation there to produce a tornado. In particular, where we're looking is in Marion and into Franklin counties at this time. A few areas where on Storm Track Doppler radar, you look at the wind mode here, you look for the green next to the red, a couple of spots where maybe it's there. But when you check them, it's less than 50 miles per hour pixel to pixel wind change. That is enough rotation. That is not enough of an updraft. So while it might be spinning, luckily to this point we are fortunate that along this line, as I continue to probe it, as we continue to look at it, a few areas, yes, trying, but not enough there to produce a tornado imminently at this moment. And the good news is that as we look back toward the west, we continue to watch counties that are going to be shaved off of our tornado watch boxes. This isn't in effect until 8 p.m., but we are watching the overall intensity of these storms diminish. As we go into the evening, though, certainly we're going to have some around. They will be breezy, sustained wind speeds up in excess of 25 gusts, 35 or so over the next couple of hours. Just to be safe, just in case, make sure you have your weather call. It's that alert. You heard it come on my phone multiple times today. Lets you know you need to take shelter. In most cases, we're going to be okay this evening. The worst of this has passed. But in a few, can I rule out that one tornado warning? No. But probably not on the level of some of the pictures and video you're going to see here in a moment. So hopefully we can get through the rest of this. Okay, we'll look ahead toward the forecast and the latest updates on Storm Track Doppler radar in a few minutes. Craig.
Matt, thanks so much. We have reporters all across the viewing area checking out reports of damage caused by the remnants of Harvey. First, we go to Pickens County, Alabama. WTVA's Cody Long joins us with what he's been seeing.
Yeah, Craig, I'm here north of Reform in Pickens County along Highway 17. This is where a tornado touched down just before 4 o'clock this evening. Now, everyone is out here trying to pick up the pieces and make repairs before more rain moves through. Let's show the video now if we have it. This area is mostly farmland around here. This house sits here, and it's actually close to a barn just a few miles north of Highway 82 along Highway 17. The tin roof was ripped off of the house. Now, I talked to the people who live here. Everyone is doing just fine. They say they're okay, and all of the goats and horses and other animals around here are doing okay. It's mostly trees that were knocked over. More than a dozen trees have fallen out here. There were also some large oak trees that were severed along Highway 82 just west of Reform. Like I said, those who live here say they are doing okay and that they are out here now. You can see them out there working on top of the roof, trying to get a tarp up there before more rain moves through. Reporting live in Pickens County, I'm Cody Long, WTVA 9 News.
Our team coverage of today's severe weather takes us now from West Alabama to North Mississippi. One area hit hard by an apparent tornado is northwest Itawamba County. WTVA's Shantae Sumter has seen the damage firsthand. She joins us live just off to the west in Baldwin.
Craig, the community with the damage is about 15 minutes from here on Highway 730 near Pretz. I'm at the police department because there was no cell phone signal near the home that tornado ripped through. But what I can tell you is it was a devastating scene to watch a family try to salvage through a pile that was once their home. Here is video showing what's left of the McClarley family home. The 4 people who were there at the time got to their storm shelter with just a few minutes to spare. They told me 2 dogs were inside when the tornado hit. The one in a kennel was found alive in the debris, but the other one that was on the porch with them, Sam, is still missing. Roger McCarley, the homeowner, told me if they weren't on the porch during the storm, they wouldn't be alive.
We were sitting on the back porch, me and my brother, his girlfriend, and I heard a noise. Sounded like a train, but I wasn't for sure. Then all of a sudden I looked out the back door and looked up, see a debris flying, and I said, it's here, let's go.
I thought he was joking at first, and then he said, Rhonda, you need to come home now. And he said, it's all gone. And I'm just like, okay. So I came from Tupelo and never expected it to be this bad.
The family told me they are still trying to process what happened because they never thought something like this would happen to them. The good news is they have family that live right next door, so they will have a place to lay their heads tonight. For now, in Baldwin, Shantae Sumter, WTVA 9 News.
And Itawamba County is not the only place locally dealing with damage. The same can be said for Prentiss County. WTVA Simone Woolridge comes to us live in Booneville, not far from storm damage to her south.
Craig, this has been the story in Booneville today. It pretty much starts raining and then it'll stop like we are right now. And I'm actually standing in front of a barn here just off of Old Meadow Creek Road. As you can see, the roof is completely taken off here. You can even see all of this wood in the yard here. You can even see the debris hanging out over here. And if we just go across the road, the debris went as far as across the street here in this neighbor's home. And even behind there, there's someone who lives in a trailer home behind there and went into that neighbor's home as well. Now, just down this road, about 10 minutes south, I spoke to someone, a young gentleman there. And he had a tree which just almost hit his home. And I think we have some video from that earlier that I shot. Now, this was on County Road 5131. And they even have patio furniture which was broken and even just blown away outside of the yard. And it literally just missed their home by a couple of inches. Now, the young guy that I spoke with was there with his friend. And his parents weren't home at the time. So he went to seek shelter nearby and came back to a complete mess.
We went down there to the storm shelter at my friend's, and we looked outside and seen debris and stuff falling, and we really didn't think it did nothing. I thought it hit our house at first, and I really just didn't know what to think.
And of course, a lot of residents here in Booneville are just glad that they barely escaped damage. In fact, I talked to the residents who live inside of this home, and they didn't even seem upset. And that's probably because that they didn't have any damage done to their actual home. They just have all of the debris in the yard there. And they even told me that they know what their Labor Day will consist of, and that will be picking up all of the pieces. Reporting live from Booneville, Simone Woolridge, WTVA 9 News.
And we cannot stress enough how important social media is as far as severe weather coverage. We're always checking Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, trying to get your images of damage and images of how you're dealing with the severe weather threat. WTVA's Madison Heil has been following all of this from the digital desk. She joins us with some of those images.
That's right, Craig. We've been monitoring our social media accounts closely all day, looking for photos and videos from you about what's going on in different areas, and we've received some great stuff, a lot of which helps with our coverage. The first video here is from the Houston-Palestine tornado looking east from Houston-Palestine Road in Kirkville. This was sent to us by a viewer, Justin Michael. Thank you for sending this in. And this next video came to us from the Houston community in Itawamba County. We received several messages about the damage that was there. This video in particular was sent to meteorologist John DeLusick by a viewer. Thank you, Lee Graham, for sending that to him. And this last video was taken off Votech Road between Amory and Aberdeen. Thank you, Hannah, for sharing. Now, earlier, many people had to take shelter in their tornado safe place, including myself and a lot of other people that work here. And we received a lot of selfies and pictures from our viewers. As you can see here, we've got people in their safe places with their kids and their pets. So great job at listening to those warnings in our weather team and getting to those safe places with your loved ones and taking the necessary precautions to keep yourself safe. People went into their closets and bathtubs. Schools put their students in the hallways. Our team here even went down into the basement at one point. We love seeing these pictures from you and knowing that you are seeking shelter and safety during these storms. Again, like Craig said, we really look to our viewers on social media to be our eyes and ears on the ground. So thank you for sending us your pictures and videos today. And as the severe weather continues, keep sending us that information to help with our coverage. We'll be monitoring social media all night long. Craig, back to you.
WTVA is a proud sponsor of the Tupelo St. Jude Dream Home.
In less than an hour, we will find out who the winner is of the 2017 St. Jude Dream Home. Thanks to you, we have raised thousands of dollars to help children battling cancer and life-threatening illnesses. My colleague, WTVA's Emily Leonard, joins us now with more.
Craig, we have watched it being built. We have seen the inside and outside of the home, and now it is finally time to give it away. But the dream home would have never happened if it weren't for the folks behind the scenes. And let's just say the house would have never been built in the first place if it hadn't been for this man. Mark Simpson with Legacy Construction, you built the dream home.
Yes, ma'am.
How excited are you to give it away?
It's been an awesome, I guess it's been 4 months now since we started. Just an unbelievable experience. I mean, the community was great. The whole community should be standing behind me that had a part in it, not just myself. It was just a community effort. So
yeah, you had a whole team.
Thrilled to be a part of it. It was awesome.
And the house is beautiful.
Thank you.
It is absolutely stunning. If you haven't seen it, you can still see the house, by the way, this weekend. Talk about why you decided to get involved. Building a house is no small feat.
I mean, to be able to do something that I love to do and that I have a passion to do, and to be able to do it for St. Jude, it's a win-win situation for myself to help St. Jude. I mean, you'll hear from some patients later on, and it's just an awesome experience to be able to help out.
Mark Simpson, thank you so much with Legacy Construction. Beautiful home. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
We will have more on the countdown to the Dream Home giveaway right after this.
WTVA is a proud sponsor of the Tupelo St. Jude Dream Home.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's a special day. Today we are giving away a house, and you don't do that very often. You don't get that opportunity to. Joining me in the studio this afternoon is Lisa Hawkins. You know her with Room to Room Furniture. We're giving away a house, but we are also giving away a $10,000 shopping spree to
That's right.
Room. And I know that St. Jude is so near and dear to your heart.
It is. It is. I've had so many friends and family that I have had children there, and it's just been an amazing place for a lot of children to be healed.
It means a lot to you, huh?
It does. I have a 3rd grade little Sunday school boy. I want to give a shout out to Casey Hatchett.
Hey, Casey.
We love Casey. He's in 3rd grade, and he's a patient right now at St. Jude, and we just love Casey.
And so this is a way for you to give back.
Correct. It is.
And you also, the inside of the home, that's all your furniture in there, and it is stunning if you have not seen it.
Matt needs to help you out and get you a few things, Emily.
I like the way you think, Lisa. I really do. Lisa Hawkins with Room to Room Furniture. We're going to be giving away a $10,000 shopping spree to her store. We're going to be doing that in our 6:30 show on ABC WTVA, and then after that, we're going to be giving away the St. Jude Dream Home. We'll be right back.
Now, your WTVA Severe Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubach.
Well, hello again. Been one of those days. The good news, though, is that it's almost over, not just in time, but the event itself. And as we look toward tomorrow, it's nothing like this at all. This was our peak day for severe weather, and the winds, even the sustained winds, the system pulling out of here, you could see that a sign. By this time tomorrow, later tomorrow evening, those winds almost calm as Harvey moves away. 81 your high tomorrow. Rain chances peaking early in the day, and the breakdown is this. Our impact from Harvey peaks this evening. It actually peaked about 2 to 3 hours ago. That doesn't mean we don't see something, but it most certainly diminishes as we progress into the weekend. One of the things I don't want to jump over, and it's easy to go right to the tornado watch. We'll touch on that in a minute. But just as important, flooding rainfall, very significantly flooding rainfall back to the north and west has prompted a whole series. All of these boxes you see here, flash flood warnings that do include northern sections of Lafayette County and Tippah County in effect until 11:30 to 11:45 p.m. this evening. And a reminder, if you get into flood water, please go to higher ground. Don't get into it, number one. Never play in flood water, because here's the thing. As much as we talk about tornadoes today, more people die from tornadoes and from floodwater than tornadoes and hurricanes combined. So, and one half all those deaths are in vehicles. No matter how jacked up your truck is, it's not good enough. Storm track Doppler radar showing us the other end of the good news. One pretty solid line here, heavy rainfall. Some of these still showing signs of rotation all along this line, extending from Red Bay down toward the south. But the good news at this point is that it looks like back west of this, the band continues to wind down. So I don't think we're going to get another burst, another one of these lines that sets up as we've had over and over again with all the tornado-producing thunderstorms today. I do think we are past the peak of this, and we do expect more counties will be carved out of this blue box, that tornado watch box, in effect until 8 p.m., but most of us should be dropped here, hopefully, especially on the Mississippi side, fairly soon. Storm tracker, here's what it has. Continues to have some thunderstorms around, and could you still get that one maybe as late as 10:30? Possibly, but it'll be near the Alabama state line and certainly heavier out into Alabama. This continues to wrap around rainfall, so the heavy rainfall potential is something that continues into the overnight hours for those locations. In particular, we're tracking under that flash flood warning, so we'll watch that very closely by our meteorologist Alan Matthew, doing that starting at 4:30 in the morning on WTVA 9 News today. Rain chances moving out of here as we progress into the day, and that does mean dry for those Friday night fever games, though dropping temperature is a big factor in this weekend, and you can see those winds relatively calm in comparison as the rainfall moves away, meaning your SEC football forecast, both Ole Miss and Mississippi State, you're good to go. We are dry, though I say dry, with all the rainfall they've had in Oxford, that grove is going to be soggy. Coordinated boots for the ladies or guys, definitely necessary there. And Saturday, Sunday, we're dry, and the forecast getting a little warmer as we go into the extended forecast, but not nearly as active as Harvey finally moves away. Tonight's color of the weather window this evening coming from Tupelo, Sydney, Langford there. That tree definitely missed out on the wind. Luckily, a lot of good apples up in that.
Now, WTVA Sports with Sports Director Jim Holder.
Just a couple of days, Ole Miss kicks off its football season against South Alabama. The Rebels enter 2017 with an interim head coach. Matt Luke was promoted to that spot just 6 weeks ago today following the resignation of Hugh Freeze. Since then, Luke has been putting his own stamp on the team. Luke says he's been talking a good bit with his mentors leading up to his head coaching debut.
I talk to Coach Cutcliffe pretty regularly. Talk to Mike McIntyre as well. But I think what you do is you pull from the best of all the guys you've been around, and you have all those experiences of all the coaches you've been around. And what you do is you pull all the good stuff that you saw from them, and that's kind of how you're built as a coach. And I think that's very, very important.
And back in 2009, Dan Mullen was entering his first season as a head coach. In 2017, Mullen is entering his 9th season at Mississippi State. The Bulldogs will host Charleston Southern on Saturday. Mullen does have his 4th defensive coordinator in 4 years. This season, it's Todd Grantham who arrived from Louisville. Here's Mullen, what he's seen from Grantham's defense in camp.
You know, one of the things I think the level of how hard our guys play, that's which is one of the most important things to me, the effort and the strain in which they give, you know, and then also just, you know, how we're fitting everything, you know, the guys, the overall understanding of everybody within the scheme and what they're doing and what the expectations of them are. You know, I've been really pleased with that.
All right, the biggest game of opening weekend is in Atlanta. Number 1 Alabama against number 3 Florida State. You'll see it Saturday at 7 on ABC WTVA. Nick Saban has gone 10-0 against former assistants since his arrival in Tuscaloosa. Jimbo Fisher was Saban's offensive coordinator at LSU, and Saban is well aware of what a Fisher offense can perform.
Well, I think it's a very well-conceived pro-style offense. I think he's very good at making changes relative to his personnel. There are similarities to some of the things he did back even at LSU, but it's sound, it's good, it's well executed, it's well taught, and it works.
MAC-JC football season kicking off. Number 9 Northeast and Pearl River just underway, scoreless in the first quarter. ICC will visit Gulf Coast in Perkinston at 7 p.m. Number 6 Northwest hosts Hines in just a few minutes, and number 2 East Mississippi hosts Jones at 7. We'll have highlights and scores tonight at 10. Meanwhile, Blue Mountain College has named Mississippi basketball coaching legend Harvey Childers as its interim athletic director. Childers won more than 1,000 games in his 39-year coaching career. He led the Northeast men to a national runner-up spot back in 1989. He also won state titles at New Albany in 1977 and 1985. Childers has been inducted into the Mississippi Coaches Association Hall of Fame and the Mississippi Community and Junior College Athletic Hall of Fame as well. He is the interim athletic director. We'll see if that becomes permanent or how that goes, but more at WTVA.com as always. Okay, well, we're gathered here to talk to Matt, right?
For a second, and then drew that drawing here in just a moment on ABC WTVA. Storm track Doppler radar. We're still watching that line. There's still plenty of spots where there are rotations stretching down south of Hackleburg. One in particular along the Lamar County line there that's a little more organized than most. It's 21 minutes outside of Ewan. We're watching it closely. We'll have updates on ABC WTVA. Not just that drawing. We're also talking about the weather and a lot of other things there as well. But most of us on the Mississippi side, as soon as that band has moved out, we're in better shape. More information, of course, as always, in the WTVA weather app.
All right, stay tuned. The St. Jude Dream Home giveaway is coming up next on ABC WTVA.